My family has owned this house for over 50 years. One minute I have a house that's worth $287,000, and the next minute it gets taken away from me for $4,000. Like, what? This ain't China. My name is Mark Mucciaccio. I've lived in Easton pretty much all my life. When the pandemic hit, it caused us to, lose most of our revenue coming into the household.
Announced even more restrictions, shutting down construction in the city.
Thousands of construction workers are now off the job, they say.
I worked in the construction business, and, I got letters from my company saying, we'll hire you back, as soon as this is over. But, we were up against the pandemic as well, so it just was no light at the end of the tunnel anywhere for us. When I had paid some money on the taxes, I paid a large sum, and then there was a balance left. The town had always told me, just pay what you can, as long as you're paying something, just keep on paying what you can pay. I've been working since I was young. I've been paying my taxes. My family's always paid the taxes on the house here, sure, we get behind. Things happen to people. Sitting at the table having coffee, a regular Veterans Day holiday, relaxing. A woman knocks on the door and says they have the deed to my house and they're here to change the locks.
It's pretty unbelievable. Home equity theft happens when you owe the government property taxes, and instead of just taking what it's owed, the government will take your entire house and all of your life savings in it. So they're used in an entirely different way than what was originally contemplated with the first of these laws.
I called the town and they told me, yes, we sold your deed, and because of $4,000 that was left over on the tax bill. I couldn't fathom what was going on at the time, and I said, me and my brother own this house. It was just the worst feeling in the world, thinking that this was my legacy to my grandchildren, and here we are, we'd be left with nothing at all.
There are people who fell behind on their property taxes, often over tiny debts, trivial debts as small as $8, and they lose their property. I mean, that's what happened to Yuri Raffaelli.
And a years-long legal battle for a man who lost his home over an $8 debt.
And retired engineer Yuri Raffaelli lost his rental property over an $8.41 tax debt. His Southfield home was seized by Oakland County, put up for auction, and sold for more than $24,000.
They prey upon people who, either because of mistake, illness, or just poverty, miss a property tax, and then they, instead of just taking what they're owed with some interest and cost, they take everything from people. A man named Benjamin Coleman, who had dementia, and he'd accidentally underpaid his taxes, and he lost his house. That's when we learned that this was happening in the United States, and started looking for cases like this.
Geraldine Pyer is a 94-year-old grandmother who lives in Minneapolis.
Fell behind on her taxes.
She was our client in Tyler versus Hennepin County.
He sold her place and kept the $25,000.
When Geraldine moved into a senior living community, she stopped paying property taxes on her former home of more than 10 years.
Here, Geraldine Pyer owed $15,000. To satisfy that debt, Hennepin County took Miss Tyler's former home and later sold it for $40,000.
And then the government kept it all. They didn't pay Miss Tyler a dime. The crux of it was that the Fifth Amendment takings clause says, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. When the government takes more than what's owed, it violates the Constitution.
When the government takes property to satisfy a debt and takes more than what is owed, it has a constitutional duty to return or pay for the excess.
Just because you owe the government money doesn't mean the government gets to steal in the process. I think it bears mentioning, though, that a bank can't do this to people. And people would probably riot in the streets if the bank did it. But the government's doing it to people.
Hailey is 11 years old. She's my granddaughter. She's just been the light of my life, I would say. I believe Hailey was 5 or 6. And we thought she had the flu. And she ended up collapsing in our living room. And we rushed her to the hospital. And then we came to find out that she had ketoacidosis, which is her blood sugar was too high for too long. They've rushed her to Children's Hospital. So she was type 1 diabetes. My wife was a mess every day. And, everybody's now in panic mode because, we have no place to live, basically. They took the only thing I have that's worth anything. So now I can't even go to the bank to get money to try to help myself. So, it was just so upsetting to all of us. And I'm sure she saw things that were going on, but I don't think she really realized or fathomed how bad things really were. I should have paid my taxes, I get it, but to lose my house because I made a mistake, like that, it just didn't seem right.
$5,000 profit. Today, in a unanimous decision, justices ruled it violated constitutional rights.
For homeowners today from the U.S. Supreme Court
decision is being hailed as a victory for property owners.
We won unanimously. My favorite line in the opinion, the taxpayer must render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, but no more.
This is her home. And I'd like to keep it her home, and she wants to keep this as her home as well.